Hi beautiful friend, welcome to today's video. I'm so happy that you're here to have this conversation with me today as we're going to talk about building confidence when you feel different. I know a lot of us have experienced this. This is probably one of the most common threads, that we can almost immediately bond over when you meet another person who you feel like has almost all of the same sort of beliefs that you do and holds this higher vision for humanity and has a really open heart, right? And you meet other people like this, and almost always one of the first things that I notice that people can bond over is how they have just felt so misunderstood and different in that embodiment of just being who they truly are. And so I want to talk about building confidence when you are in that feeling of feeling different or feeling like you think a different way than everyone else in the room, or you just have a different perspective. And I've been that person, feeling very much just like with myself, in a room of people, like, okay, I'm just going to be with myself because I'm hesitant to understand where we can have an authentic connection. Is what it is that we're balancing. Two things. We come from the same source. We are all equally divine. Okay, there's no hierarchy. We are one. We are our collective, it's collective consciousness, okay? Here. And then we have our individual consciousness, right? Our individual sense of expression and our signature scent, right, that we add over here. So essentially what I want to talk about is building confidence when you're doing that. When you're finding your middle path that you are walking, how can you feel really confident about that? First place I want to start is to truly get in touch with this idea of collective consciousness and how true that is, that we all are connected, and that your individual signature absolutely impacts the whole. That's sort of a step one, I guess, that I want to start with in building confidence when you feel different, is when we talk about feeling different, or when I'm, in my previous years, when I've been in a room just totally uncertain how to even connect with people, it is deeply rooted in this idea of we are separate. We are not connected. As soon as that flipped for me and I was like, oh yeah, I completely believe that we're all connected, then I'm not suffering like introvert complexes as much. I'm able to have a very pleasant conversation with anybody that I want to or need to. There's like just this relaxedness about it, and there's not such a big feeling of like, I just feel so different right now. Well, you might be in a different place than a lot of the people around you, but it doesn't mean that you aren't deeply, deeply connected and influencing each other's paths. So I've said this before, and I love this phrase, that Ascension has no end game. I think there's an idea that there's going to be, maybe there will be, but this like moment where we are like absorbed into the sun and like absorbed into the light, and then we stay in this state of unmoving bliss or something, or it's like, or then I'll just finally be able to rest. And I don't know about that. What I think is actually more fun, yes to the bliss, yes to the love, yes to those feelings, but I think that the more that you feel that, the more that we are going to be excited to expand ourselves through all of space and time until the even larger collective feels that same sense of blissful love. That's why our star families are here right now. It's because they have such a deep sense of collective consciousness that they know the power of it. They know the feeling of it, the how incredible a community like that is, how impactful that can be. And so they are you, okay? I mean, we are from the stars. That's who we are. But I'm saying when you feel the help, right? When you can feel the help of guidance. Why are they helping you? Because they know the absolute incredible nature of when we realize the beauty, the love, the power, the wisdom, the depth to our collective consciousness. The human being collective consciousness is rich, really rich, really abundant with all sorts of creativity and ideas and experiments. This is the piece, though, that we talked about at the beginning of this video. When you have collective consciousness that we're talking about right now, and then this sense of like, I'm an individual. I am here to be an individual. I'm here to live as an individual. I am very focused on me as an individual. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I do a lot of saying like that's the most important thing, but it can't override this. It cannot be stronger than your knowingness. You're a very important part. You're a very important part. We all are. Then it becomes a conversation of potential. The potential of our love. What's the potential of your love? That's a better question than thinking about how different you feel. What's the potential of how much you can love other people and yourself? Once you start having those visions, you might come to your own decision and inspiration to act on the full potential, the highest path of your love, and expressing your signature here. I have a teaching with Saint Germain, and there was a piece in that transmission that came through where he was explaining how he has no problem turning heads. When he was human and when he was Saint Germain, there was just he enjoyed it. He enjoyed getting people to look at him. Now, can you take the context of this conversation we've been talking about so far and apply it to why do you think Saint Germain would want people to look his way, to align with his consciousness? Because he's one of the greatest leaders of collective consciousness that I've been able to tune in with. He is so devoted to us realizing our collective consciousness. So if he could get someone to look at him, then they would connect, right? And maybe that person would start to know more of themselves because he knew who he was. But in knowing who you are comes with the knowingness of what you're a part of. Okay, you're here to play a part and be the whole. It's fascinating. I hope that this brings some perspective to those moments that you're feeling different. You don't have to feel that way anymore. If you're watching this and you're like, no, but I'm still really struggling with this. Okay, I have notes. Play with the idea of a superhero who has unique qualities. Have you ever actually done that practice for yourself where you've sat down, gotten a pen and some paper, and you built out your superhero? Who is Katherine live? What does she do? Who can she help the most with her superpowers? I have that conversation with myself a lot because I want to help in the most effective way that I can and deeply connect with you. But that takes me understanding what my strengths are. I'll make this personal. So the idea of this superhero, right? For me, one of the qualities on that list would be posting a video to YouTube every day. I'm gonna run out of battery in my camera. I hope I can finish this real quick. The way that I do that, that's why this is set up. That's why my thumbnails look the way that they do. It's on repeat for me. It's systemized. It's something that I can show up to and be that superhero. Because that to me is like a superhero quality, that a mom of young children who's homeschooling and doing a lot of other things is able to get a video, like a good video that's helpful to you every single day on YouTube. The gifts are anchored with action. Okay, those superhero qualities that you write down about yourself, do yourself the service of anchoring into them by taking action on those superhero qualities, okay? You, from one perspective, it's just unique, okay? There's a difference between feeling different and feeling very empowered to be in your absolutely unique expression of who you are, completely authentic. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.